Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another preview. Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you missed it last time out, a few days ago, by the time you're seeing this, we were live the other day, and I was joined by Hugh. I told you he wouldn't be going anywhere. He joined me for a live stream, so if you missed it, you can always go back and watch it. I'll leave a card at the end of the video that you can click on to go back and watch it on playback. We talked transfers, title race, ticket situations, all sorts of stuff. I'd highly recommend you check it out. And if you're sad that you missed it, and you don't want to miss more, because we will be doing them, there will be a regular theme, these late night live shows, then subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever we do go live. And also, of course, like this video. It really help us out. But on to Newcastle, onto the topic of today's video. Last game before the break, the very short break before, of course, that dreaded cup tie against Tottenham. That I don't know whether to look forward to that one or to just want it to be over with, to be honest. But that'll be a conversation for another day. Right now, we need to focus on Newcastle because we have the opportunity to make it 4 wins in a row, and close a little bit of distance down. There's a load of teams that aren't actually playing this weekend because of FA Cup replays. Oh, potential to take advantage. I don't actually know the full fixture list. I didn't actually take a look. I think Liverpool do play. I'm unsure about Arsenal, though. I really don't know. But regardless of who is and isn't playing, we still need to do the business. Still need to pick up 3 points. 4 in a row, like I said. If we win this one, would be a really good, momentum going into the break. A bit of warm weather training, come back for the cup match. Exactly what we need. We need to go on a run. This is the time of the season where we usually start to go on a run. And we need to take advantage of how poor Newcastle have been doing. Now, granted, they did, they beat Sunderland, their derby. They got up for it. But the facts don't lie. In the Premier League, they've been struggling. They currently sit, I believe, 9th in the table. Only a couple of points separate them and being in the bottom half. I don't think it's possible for them to be in the bottom half, if results go their way, because again, I'm not sure which teams actually play this weekend and which ones don't. But I believe they will stay top half, but I think they could go to 10th, because I know Chelsea play, and Chelsea are the team directly below them. So there's a lot riding on it for Newcastle. Eddie Howe's under a lot of pressure, of course, with the financial backing and qualifying for the Champions League, getting top 4 last year. He's under a lot of pressure now to deliver a little bit of consistency, try and get them European football. I mean, as it stands right now, they won't be qualifying for any European football whatsoever next season. And they've just been grouped in the Champions League, on their big return. So Eddie Howe's under a lot of pressure. That Newcastle squad has a lot of injuries. I'm not too sure about, who's going to return for them. I know they've been struggling with bodies recently with, they get someone back and someone else drops out with an injury. So, interesting game. Of course, we know our injury situation. It's much improved. We have majority of the players. Of course, John Stones, I would expect to still be out for this one. I haven't seen him in training. I looked through some training pictures before. I didn't see HAALAND, but that's not to say that he won't play. Of course, Pep said that he's close. He's very close. They just need to be careful. Will he play this one? I don't know. Will he start? Probably not. I mean, I'll throw up my predicted starting 11 up on screen now while I'm talking about the team. Just going through the injury news. Of course, Akanji getting injured last time out against Huddersfield. He won't be playing, or at least I don't expect him to be fit. There has been no word on Akanji. There was no questions asked in the post-match press conference. So I don't know the severity of the injury. I don't know the exact injury that he's done, where he's done it, what he's done. Nobody knows that. I'm expecting, by the time that you watch this, you probably know because there's been a press conference. Again, I always say that I do these before the press conferences are out, so I do not know, the state of the squad. I'm only going on what I have known from last time out, and what I know from last time out is Akanji's got injured, Stones hasn't been training, and of course, De Bruyne and Doku, they have been training. I don't think they're ready for 90 minutes. So I don't think they'll start. And HAALAND is sort of 50-50 up in the air. I expect him to, at the very latest, be back after the break. Maybe he won't play against Tottenham in the Cup, but after that, he should be good to go. But this is my predicted 11. Of course, I think the back four picks itself. With the injuries, I don't really think there's any wiggle room unless you put Sergio Gomez back in there or Rico Lewis. But Newcastle are a team of giants, so I wouldn't really be doing that. I think, you know, the back four picks itself. Obviously, Rodri comes back in as per usual. And again, I think going forwards, it pretty much picks itself. Bernardo Silva was ill in the cup match, so, you know, you'd imagine he'd return. I don't think he'd stick with Oscar Bob, although he did play really, really well again. But yeah, the only difference again that I think could happen here is if Haaland's fit, he possibly starts. But, you know, given the fact that he didn't even, you know, he hasn't played any minutes and didn't even get on against Huddersfield because he wasn't on the bench, I don't think he's going to start because, you know, it's a slow ramp up of minutes. Nothing too major, nothing throwing in the deep end. And again, like I said, Newcastle aren't playing well in the Premier League. So this is a match that we should be winning. We've turned a corner, turned some form. They've been struggling. We need to capitalise. And try and gain as much ground as we can. Try and get on a winning run, set us for the second half of the season. In terms of my score prediction, I'm going to go for a 2-1 City. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet because, I mean, Newcastle, St James's Park it's a tough ground to go to. Regardless of whether Newcastle are playing well, regardless of whether they're not playing too well, injuries, whatever. Big stadium, noisy stadium, great fan base. They're going to make it difficult. Of course, remember last season it ended 3-3. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 City. I do think we will win this game. I think that, you know, we could win it by a couple of goals maybe, but of course that depends on the state of the squad. I do expect Kevin De Bruyne to get onto the pitch eventually. Like Pep was saying in his post-match press conference, he's not ready to do 90 minutes. You know, it's a slow ramp-up of minutes to get him back, you know, get him acclimatised to playing football again. So I expect him to get on the pitch. How much time he gets, I think, depends on how the game's going. If we're struggling, you may see him earlier than expected. If we're sort of, you know, just getting by, then maybe he gets 20 minutes, that sort of thing. So that's my team. That's my prediction for how the game's going to go. Of course, I urge you to get in the comments and let me know exactly what you think of this, what you think of the predicted 11, what your score prediction is, what you think of the game. Ask me a question if you think I have not touched on anything that you want me to have my opinion on. Like the video if you like the video. Helps us out massively. And subscribe if you're new. We're trying to reach 7k as quickly as possible. And I will see you after the game for a post-match reaction. Remember, turn those notifications on. You don't miss a live stream either because we're back.